What's good, y'all? We back again. And yeah, we gotta talk about this. More news is dropping around Shedeur Sanders, and honestly, this is shaping up to be a major win for him with head coach Todd Monkin. But we'll circle back to that in just a second. Before that, we've got Asante Samuel hopping on his podcast to respond to some comments from Emanuel Acho, where Acho basically said Shedeur and even the Cleveland Browns players shouldn't be excited about Todd Monkin at all. Hold though, because everywhere Monkin has gone, he's delivered results. And on top of that, we also got Shady McCoy stepping in and telling Acho straight up that what he said wasn't it. So now Acho's getting checked from another platform and on his own stage. We're going to break all of that down first, and then I'll explain why this hire has Shedeur lined up perfectly to be QB1 next season.
Shedeur Sanders under Todd Monkin, I believe, will lead to disappointment. There is nothing about Todd Monkin as a head coach that should get you excited. As an offensive coordinator, you could say Lamar Jackson had an MVP season under Todd Monkin. As an offensive coordinator, Lamar Jackson had 41 touchdowns and 4 interceptions under Todd Monkin. As an offensive coordinator, you can make arguments under Todd Monkin. Stetson Bennett won 2 national championships at Georgia under Todd Monkin. But as a head coach, no. Nothing about Todd Monkin as a head man gets me excited. I need to see who the offensive coordinator is going to be. That's what I need to see. But what I don't yet see, T, is like, how is Todd Monkin going to command that locker room, command that group of men? And also, if I'm Shedeur or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monkin? What if you won on an NFL level as a head coach? You're not even a head coach on an NFL level. So I don't even have expectations for Shedeur under Todd Monkin because I believe any expectations I would have, he would not meet. Because why am I excited about it, T? Why? Every now and then, you have a bad take.
Yeah. That shit you just said, that's not okay. You don't get no pass. Because I gotta get all these calls from all these different players, and you my man, I gotta take up for you, because y'all don't get they ain't calling y'all, they calling me.
Y'all might have been better players, but when it comes to this, we're just not on the same level.
What the heck are we talking about? That's a lot of things to get excited about. All that success, every head coach doesn't come from being a head coach.
If I'm Shedeur or anybody in that locker room, why am I listening to Todd Monkin?
You shut your boy. Why would he listen to Todd, the head coach, the new coach who had success with another black quarterback, another brother? This has to be the worst take that anybody has ever said in the history of hot takes for football. This by far has to be the most stupidest thing you can ever tell a player besides quitting. If Emanuel Acho had a son in NFL, would he tell him not to listen to the coach, or he just telling other people's children this? They could giving advice for people to fail so they could come join him on Speak Easy.
I feel like you got to be optimistic about these coaches these days. Perfect example, Sean McVay. He became a head coach at 31 years old for the Los Angeles Rams. He only was an offensive coordinator for like a few years, but only 31 years old. Imagine Sean McVay becoming a coach for the Los Angeles Rams, and they say, don't listen to him. But exactly. he's been one of the most successful coaches since he became the head coach at 31 years old.
Emanuel Acho has been around for a long time. He has been around super producers. He's been on ESPN, First Take, all these other places. He absolutely knows. He absolutely understands what it takes to be a head coach and the progression to becoming a head coach. It's like, what do you want Shedeur to tell Todd Monkin? Don't worry about install. Don't worry about installing the new plays because Shedeur got it figured out.
If you already starting off from day one not buying into the program, there goes your team right there.
There goes your team, and there goes that player. Because I'm a new coach. I'm not going to tolerate someone not listening to me and buying into my program. That's a bad apple. That's a bad seed. That's a cancer on the team. What the freak is Emanuel Acho talking about? Am I the only one that think Emanuel Acho sounds like a scammer trying to convince someone to send them some money? Am I the only one that feel that way? He and everyone else knows that was horrible. And the bad part about it, he didn't delete it. He kept it up the entire day.
Now, as we keep it moving, I want folks who might not really know the history between Todd Monkin and Shedeur Sanders to peep a few key details. So right here, during this stretch, Todd Monkin was brought in at the University of Georgia as the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. And I know some of y'all are probably asking, hold up, why does that even matter? Well, Georgia actually offered Shedeur a scholarship to be their quarterback. Todd Monkin personally wanted to recruit Shedeur Sanders out of high school to UGA, and later was even pushing to bring him to the Baltimore Ravens. Remember, Shedeur was a 4-star QB, so choosing Jackson State to play with his father was a huge decision. But the important part is this: Monkin was one of those OC and QB coaches who genuinely believed Shedeur could be the guy at Georgia during that era. On top of that, you can also see that the Baltimore Ravens had real interest in drafting Shedeur in 2025. Now, Shedeur and his camp didn't want to walk into a situation where you're stuck sitting behind Lamar Jackson for the long haul, even though Monkin was the offensive coordinator. And he was actually one of the strongest voices in the building, advocating for the team to bring Shedeur in. So yeah, I wanted y'all to really see and understand that context. Now let's roll these clips and take a look.
Where I'm going in at? Oh, yeah.
Hey, hello, young man. What's up? Good to see you. How you doing? Welcome back to the States, Coach.
How we doing, man?
Good.
Yeah, we tried to draft your ass last year. For God's sake. It's all worked out.
Yeah.
You remember that, right?
Yeah, that's what I was about to tell you.
Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, sit down.
He's been in football his whole life. And so he's wanted to lead an NFL team. That's why he went back and left Georgia. He went back to the league because he wanted that opportunity, and he knew he was capable of doing it. And look, wherever he's been, whether it's Grand Valley, Eastern Michigan, Louisiana Tech, Southern Miss, I mean, everywhere he's been, he has turned it into a winner. And Cleveland is going to have him. I know there's a lot of people, well, who's Todd Monkin and why Todd Monkin? This is a football coach, and he knows every part of that game, from special teams to clock management to defensive structures. You got a football coach, and he's going to do a heck of a job.
Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated had a little insight to actually what went into the process. One of the interesting things was, one of the questions on this so-called test, is, as he puts it, was how would you develop Shedeur Sanders?
I have a feeling, Chris, it was a little bit more specific than how would you go about developing Shedeur Sanders. But the fact that his name was on that essay, then Dylan Gabriel's name, at least according to Albert Breer, was not, and Deshaun Watson's name was not, that leads me to believe that the Browns have an inkling that Shedeur is going to be the starting quarterback heading into September. But I don't know what Todd Monkin thinks about that. And ultimately, Chris, I don't know if Andrew's going to be able to just categorically make that decision the way that he could when Kevin was.
So if you listen closely to what was being said, according to the ESPN guys, the question inside the building was literally, how would you develop Shedeur Sanders? Which already tells you the organization believes they've seen enough to realistically view him as a potential QB1 coming into the season. That part matters. And let's not forget, Coach Monkin has been trying to coach Shedeur at damn near every stage. He wanted him out of high school, and really, at every level after that, he was pushing for him. Obviously, Shedeur chose to play for his pops at Jackson State and then Colorado, but even after that, Monkin still wanted him with the Baltimore Ravens. Now sure, there probably wasn't a clear inside track to starting there, but the goal was development. Get him in the building, get him reps. Maybe he's working with the twos early, who knows? But fast forward to now, and that's not even a concern. This upcoming season, preparation isn't the question. Shedeur is going to be getting reps with the ones immediately, and that puts him in a prime position to actually win QB1. Coach Monkin looks genuinely excited to finally get the chance to coach Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur even posted less work right after the hire was announced. That tells you something. Because when you're recruited, especially by top programs, you build real relationships, not just with the head coach, but coordinators, position coaches. The guys are actually in charge of your development. And at Georgia, that would have been Monkin, the QB coach and offensive coordinator at the time. So I honestly think Coach Prime loves this move because of the trust and relationship already in place with Monkin. And this is where everything connects. I really don't get why Acho would say these players shouldn't be excited, because a lot of times, and let's be honest, coaches level up right alongside the players. He was in Georgia then. He'd already coached in the league before. Then he goes back to the league, chasing a bigger opportunity to lead. Just like the players, these coaches are chasing their dreams too. You never know when your paths are going to cross again. But from everything we've seen, every interaction between Monkin and Shedeur has been solid. And now it comes full circle, with Monkin leading the Cleveland Browns. So nah, I can't rock with what Acho said, because you don't know the relationship Monkin and Shedeur actually have. And honestly, this might have been the best possible hire to put Shedeur in a position to really show what he's capable of. I think this year it's all on him. There's definitely more pressure, but that's because he's being put in a position to succeed. He's probably getting the keys right away. And from there, we'll see what happens. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.